Support for this podcast comes from the patrons at patreon.com/FMLFPL. Okay, welcome to FMLPL. It's just me. It's kind of weird. I don't even know who. I have no one to address. It feels like I'm vlogging or something more than a normal pod, but I'm gonna do my best. Walsh is in the jungle, literally, and can't be potting, so I'm potting. It's about 1:30 in the morning. 1:30 on Tuesday morning, just after Jordan, Algeria. So when you're listening to this, it'll be the last day of match day 2. Very confusing calling it match days because days exist in the real world. But yeah, so there'll be the four matches that haven't happened: Portugal, Uzbekistan, England, Ghana, Panama, Croatia, Colombia, Congo, before we wildcard into our round 3 team, which there's no in between. There's no time in between, so it's just going to be straight in. My phone is blinking. I don't know what's going on. So I had to pod tonight. Otherwise, there'd be no time to even listen or take anything in before we polish off our round 3 team. So I'm going to do my best to just talk about some things I'm thinking about for the match day 3 or the round 3 team, the wildcard team. I'll hit some questions. I'm sure I'm going to miss a ton of shit, not only because it's just me, but it's also just fucking 8 hours of matches a day and 5 million articles I want to read a day, and I have other shit to do and work and shit and whatever. So I guess to keep it sort of FMLFPL normal coded, I'll show our team as it currently stands in round 2. Really bad. Really, really bad. We somehow, we haven't had the full 30 players yet play, but we've picked 2 red cards. Ngoy this time and Montez in round 1. This week we had a Rafinha injury off early, Schlotterbeck injury off early, double 1-pointers. Theo Hernandez doesn't start. Elvedi, fucking nightmare. Switzerland Elvedi blowing another clean late. Another garbage time goal conceded by them. Well, I guess the Qatar one wasn't garbage time, but you know what I mean. Mbappe in obviously is good because he's ridiculous. Sorry, I realize it's like really small, but apparently it's really bad quality anyway, so you probably can't even see it. I don't really know. But yeah, Odegaard got 7, fine. Kai blank, Schick blank, Kevin very disappointing blanks. We've kept the cap. I guess I've kept the cap on Dest, which, -1 if I kept Mbappe instead, but, that's as expected. Ngoy, aforementioned, got 7 points the hard way with his red card. Galindez, 8-pointer. Finally, he came good. So we have James and Diaz to go against Congo. Yeah, we'll see. That's kind of where we're at. But I'm done with this team. I'm done with all these fucking guys. So yeah, it seems like it's just time to move on. I think the best way is maybe I just hit these Discord questions, and if shit flies into my brain from there, I'll do that. If not, I'll do that. I'll do whatever. If you're listening, you're just as crazy as we are, I have to take intermittent sips, by the way. Otherwise, I'm gonna fucking die because I'm vlogging. So here comes sip one. That's nice. Okay. Hans in our Discord said, "Is everyone sleeping on Bounou 4-7 keeper?" It's so funny 4-7 keeper because the way Walsh and I are playing, by the way, we just have 8 million in the bank at all times, all day, every day. Nothing matters. I haven't looked. I don't know the price of practically anyone in the game because it doesn't even matter at all. But I assume it matters for other people who are, Holland, Messi, Mbappe, etc. So, Bounou, he's a 4-7 keeper on a low block team that reached the semifinal last time out, under 5% owned. I'm surprised he's under 5%, but I guess in one way I'm not, because they played Brazil round one. They played Brazil, so rightfully didn't keep it clean, so it was a good avoid. And then with only 2 frees, who in their right fucking mind is going to use one of them on a keeper? I mean, unless you picked a keeper who doesn't play. But yeah, I did a solo pod for Patrons only, just the day, I think it was the day before round 2 or whatever. And I mentioned the Moroccan guys as like, these are the best picks. Like, they have Haiti and they have Scotland, they have Haiti. They're ridiculous. Hakimi, even though he's absolute scum, nightmare human, great pick. Bounou, add in all the other guys. All their defenders are like sub 1% except Hakimi, and they're all just hauling. So yeah, I mean, he's definitely under owned, and he's definitely a round 3 option, for sure. I wish the site was more easily navigable, but they have Haiti. I mean, it's probably the most nailed clean in the entire round. So yeah, definitely sleeping on them. We'll also see. I mean, I'm curious. I'll try and let me see what his ownership is right now. Hold on, stick with me. I have to click 85 buttons just to get to a fucking screen that tells me the thing I want to know. Okay, Bounou. So right now, 1:52 a.m. or whatever, 1:40 a.m. He's 5% owned, and I'm gonna wildcard. Hundreds of people in our Discord are gonna wildcard, which probably means thousands of people, tens of thousands of people IRL are gonna wildcard. He's not going to be under 5% owned by the start of round 3. So, spoiler alert, he's not scouting bonus. Still a good pick. Sometimes you go for the scouting bonus. Sometimes you go for the scouting bonus like Teo Hernandez, and then he plays 0 fucking minutes because Deschamps' a piece of shit. I'm a piece of shit. Everyone's a piece of shit. Brian said, all right, so I smashed the wildcard button for match day 3, round 3, whatever we're calling it these days. Even though teams like Mexico and the U.S. have already booked their spots in the round of 32, there's still plenty on the line with group winners, third place battles, seeding all up for grabs. So looking at the fixtures, which matchups are you targeting? Where do you see the biggest fantasy hauls this round? So, I mean, this is just like sort of an all-encompassing, like, what's up situation. You know what? I'm going to table that, Brian, because I kind of have like an idea of roughly, maybe quickly. Nothing I do is that quickly because I just get caught up in it, but maybe just going group by group and just sort of seeing like, okay, this is the situation and this is maybe the team or 2 teams to target. So let's just table that because I kind of have that in mind already. I should have organized these better, but it's late. Carefree wildcard match day 3. I'm debating going for a starting 11 with at least 7 scouting bonus. I don't know. Where are you picking that number? I have no fucking idea. Who are the top scouting bonus shouts? I mean, again, I'm gonna go group by group. But I also feel like there are some, like, I feel like it's the, FPL thing where everyone uses their chip at the same time. I feel like that is what's going to happen here. And it's just going to be one of those things where like the majority of active, whatever you want to call them, active players Twitter users, fantasy football scout worshippers will be wildcarding, and a lot of the ownership percentages on all of the obvious good teams against bad teams with stuff on the line are all going to skyrocket. So I think right now it's really hard to pick like this nailed guy is ridiculous. I mean, I did just mention the Moroccans. I mean, Riyadh and Diop are both under 0.5% owned. So there are still guys where it's like it's hard for me to imagine that they're over 5 by the time things go, especially because everyone's probably gonna have Hakimi and have the super highly owned guys. So there will be guys, but it'll be one of those things where we're looking at. I'm like scrolling through my notes to like look for an example or something. Like we're gonna be all looking at Ivory Coast, right? And everyone's just they have the banker. They're only on 3 points. They're playing a win. Blah 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 blah. Everyone's gonna be on Diamande, right? Like I'd be surprised if he's not. He doesn't get over the line. He's famous and he's incredible. He's been so good. Kind of same with maybe Ahmad because Man United and stuff, and people will be going there, but there will definitely be at least like 3 to 4 guys on this team who are nailed, who are solid picks, who are not going to be trendy and not going to be anywhere near 5%. But we're going to kind of have to track it, not just tomorrow, but also Wednesday morning before it locks. We're kind of going to all be on that fucking Solio website, whatever it is, and looking at the 5%, and all of a sudden it's like fucking Doué is flying on Cote d'Ivoire. Oh, I'm gonna switch to the other defender. So it's gonna be annoying, but we're gonna be there. Al said, "Who are the Ivory Coast picks?" Look at that. He said Diallo and Diamande worth a look despite being forwards in the game. Yeah, I was so bummed when I was looking at them a little bit and flirting with them and seeing that they're both forwards. I mean, I think at least one should definitely be in the team, but I don't think 2 is crazy. I'm gonna, spoiler alert, I don't think it's a situation where going 2 is nuts because there's 8 amazing forwards that are clearly better than them. I don't think that. I don't believe that. So I mean, it's a big ask because you're not just, it's like an escalating proposition of like, I'm not just asking them to win because we all think they're going to win because, they're playing Curacao. Now we kind of need them to score at least 3. I mean, 3 would almost be disappointing. Anything more than 3 would obviously be good. And if they don't, like if they score 2 goals and win, it was probably bad. It was probably not good enough. I mean, there's a chance that obviously the 2 guys both double return on the 2-0 win. It's not that likely, especially because neither of them are even the forward in the middle, right? So it's a big ask, but I don't think it's incorrect. I mean, I don't think, I haven't looked at like odds or anything, but I would imagine they're the likeliest winner of the entire round. I just don't know if they have the firepower. And like we'll get to Morocco later. It's sort of a similar thing, right? Morocco are home Haiti. It's like, goddamn, they're gonna win. Is it gonna be a kind of dull 1-0 like it was against Scotland? Are they capable of putting up a crooked number? That's what we're going to have to figure out. Valverde said, with so many of the premiums returning big numbers, is it worth going cheap at the back and big up front? If so, what would be your budget picks? Well, here's the thing with that is that if I just go sort by price, right, for the whole game, every position, right? So Kane, we don't know yet because they haven't played yet for round 2 as I'm potting, but will likely beat Ghana and therefore not be nailed for 3, right? Mbappe, they're on 6 points. Will they play starters? They just need a draw. I mean, Holland was kind of like, they're going to win. I don't care. I don't know what to make of that. I don't know if they're going to play. We're definitely not getting Holland against France. And Messi's probably the most nailed person to be rested. That's the four most expensive players in the game, right? There's other guys who, are going to be in our team, like Vinny, arguably Mo, some other guys, but really most of the top guys are like not nailed, not gonna be nailed, I should say, because situations will change, or not good, like Ronaldo. He's one of the 10 million players. There's not that many. So really, this is a question for, I think, the round of 32. So you should just ask this again, Valverde, when it's the round of 32, because then we're going to be making teams where it's like, I want all four of the aforementioned guys, Kane, Mbappe, Holland, Messi. I only get 3 forward slots, but I still want all 4. What am I doing? How am I affording all these guys? We're probably going to want Vinny also. We're probably going to want Yamal also. We're probably going to want Elise also. These are, I just listed 7 of the 9 most expensive players in the game. So that'll be a question for that, which will obviously depend on matchups, but will also depend on what we can afford. But right now, it's like we can afford anything for wildcarders for match day 3. Benji, wildcard match day 3 template, players, teams you're looking at. Yeah, it's all the same shit. So I'll just start going group by group. I'll do another sip. I got a decaf coffee and I got a bottle of water with me, so that should get me through a pod. I wonder how long it's been. 16 minutes? We're fine. Yeah, we're absolutely fine. Okay, so let me open some shit. Like I said, could have been more prepared, should have been more prepared, but it is what it is. It is what it is. It's a solo pod. First ever solo pod with video for us. So okay, so let's look at Group A. Let's just go alphabetical here. So Group A, Mexico's through, nothing to play for, guaranteed top spot. Czechia and South Africa both need to win. They're both on 1 point. They both also suck. And then South Korea's on 3 points. So here, let me actually... Fuck. Can I pull this up fast enough? Yes, I can. Wow. Killing it right now. Okay, I'm pulling up another graphic. Wow, I feel like a real pod in this moment, even though the graphic quality is apparently really bad and I need to work on that. I'm like a real pod. I'm like showing graphics on the pod. Isn't that crazy? Anyway, this is from Michael Caley, Double Pivot Pod. He's doing crazy, crazy work for World Cup. They're podding and writing articles and updating his model every day. It's really nice to look at. But so this is his what does it take to advance from third place chart. It's obviously projected because, results can change things of what is likely or not likely to go through as round 3 progresses, which, by the way, what a horrible, horrible format the World Cup is, where the later your group plays, the more advantage the third place teams have because they'll know what they need. A terrible format. Like, what are we doing? There's only a couple things that are bad about the format because overall the tournament's been phenomenal. That's one of the things, very obviously bad, and they should have done something to prevent it. The other obvious thing is there's some dead fucking rubbers because of the change. One big change they made was it's not goal difference is not the number one tiebreaker for getting out of a group. It's head-to-head before goal difference. It's head-to-head, then head-to-head goal difference, and then goal difference. Because of that, there's so many dead rubbers, right? Like normally you would look at Group A and say Mexico's on 6, and South Korea's on 3. South Korea could catch them if they put up a big result, but it doesn't matter because Mexico beat South Korea. Mexico could lose by 20 goals. South Korea could score 99 goals. and it'll still be Mexico 1, South Korea 2. So there's just all these dead rubbers. But anyway, the reason I'm showing this chart is because it's important for the group by group breakdown that I'm going. So if you can't read it, or if you're listening to audio, basically this is what it is. 4 points, you are basically 100% to go through. Basically 100%. The way Caley has it listed is if you're even or positive goal difference, it's 100%. If you're negative goal difference on 4 points, you're 99.8%. So, what are we doing? So 4 is good. If you're 3 points with even or positive goal difference, 99% to go through. So that's huge. And then it goes down based on goal difference, right? So he has it separated by -1, -2, -3, -4, -5 and below. And then even 2-pointers, because it's still possible that some 2-point stragglers get in. But basically, -1, 90, 3 points, -1, 93%, -2, 80%, -3, 64%, -4, 50%. 3 points with a -4 goal difference, you're still 50% to go through. Too many teams are going through. That's what I have to say about that. If you're -4 after 3 games and you're 50%, come on, man. That's too much. Anyway, I'm showing this chart, and I'll reference the chart probably as we're going group by group because it's important, right? So I'm talking about Group A. Mexico guaranteed top. Czechia, South Africa both need a win. They're both on 1 point. If either of them win, because of what I just said, they'll basically 100% go through. So that's, a good job by them. But then South Korea is the one that's on 3 points with a even goal difference of 0. South Korea get to play South Africa. It's the battle of the Souths. Who will go more south? South Africa are really bad. South Korea, I'd imagine, are heavy favorites. Will we be picking a South Korean player? Maybe. I mean, it's hard because Sonny is a forward and he's the obvious fantasy pick on the team, taking the shots and on pens and all that stuff. He's also been getting subbed early, so maybe he's just a bad pick, full stop. But South Korea seems like they're, I don't know. I'm trying to group these in my head. I'm writing shit down as we're talking because I also need to do our wildcard team. But I'll put South Korea in the flirting category. Maybe it's a Lee Kang-in situation. Maybe it's one random cheap pick if you actually are having financial problems making your team or something like that. But it's really just South Korea. There is not a single other possible pick in Group A. Group B, let's see, what's the situation in Group B? It might be a full avoid. I mean, so Canada and Switzerland are both on 4 points. They're both 100% through, and they play each other. And then that means Bosnia gets the honor of playing Qatar, who are the fucking worst team in the entire tournament, probably, maybe. One note, and I'll put Bosnia in the flirting category too, because they're also not good. The thing with Bosnia is that Group B are the first matches of round 3. So we will have a Bosnian lineup, which is a little interesting because, again, I'm sure they're heavy favorites and Qatar an absolute fucking joke. I expect Bosnia to win. Not that they're some great team or something, but Qatar. It's fucking Qatar. And I'm gonna try and pull up the odds as I'm talking. Yeah. They're 60% ish to win with it expected to score around 2-ish goals. So, that's pretty good. If Dzeko starts, maybe, Demirovic. It's hard to use one of the precious forward slots on a fucking Bosnian Herzegovinian. But, a Taharovic punt, he's been getting tackle bones. He's quality. I'm just literally going to their page to sort by total points. Yeah, Kolasinac. I mean, he's Arsenal legend. Like he gets in the box a little bit. You know who I actually like? I like Katic. Where is he? He's on 0 points, 0 total points. He got 1 point against Canada because he got a yellow card, and then -1 points against Switzerland because they conceded 4 goals. But he's a fucking donger. Tell you what, you need to fill a rogue defender slot. Katic, you know, that might be the guy because you don't really trust a forward. I don't think you want to use a forward on them just because even though it's Qatar, it's just like they're just bad at attacking. So anyway, I'm spending a lot of time on these to basically say nothing. Group C, this is fantasy gold. So Brazil's on 4 points plus 3 goal difference. Morocco's on 4 points plus 1 goal difference. Scotland's on 3 points, even goal difference. Haiti are fucking bad. 0 points, -4. So the big question that I kind of alluded to earlier was, are Morocco capable of piling on 2, 3, 4 goals against anyone? Like I need to literally go back. This is like work for myself. Like check Morocco past results in like every tournament. Like I want to see, have they ever done it? Have they ever scored 5? Have they ever just unleashed against someone? AFCON, friendly, qualifying. I want to see. Have they ever done it? That is relevant information. So something I need to do later. But they're a very good team, but it's mostly defensive. So triple Morocco is probably nailed. Saibari is ridiculous. I mean, he's a cheat code. He's an out of position, cheap forward who plays striker for Morocco against Haiti. I don't need to say anything else. He has 21 points in 2 games. He scored in both games. Joke. Auto pick. Brahim Diaz, good pick. Good player, good pick. I mean, I think here, let me put it this way. I think the template 3 is Saibari, Brahim Diaz, Hakimi. Now, Hakimi being a scumbag who belongs in jail kind of puts me off him. The fact that they're even talking about his trial after matches as if it's just like some casual thing is shocking, and I hate it, and I hate him. So we're not going to have Hakimi on Team Alon Walsh. I can tell you that much. We're just not going to do it. But Saibari and Brahim Diaz are phenomenal picks. And then I mentioned earlier, I probably don't need to go back through it, like Bounou or the other defenders who are scouting bonus, all good picks. Like if I was playing for points and I, had, whatever. I need to stop harping on the Hakimi thing. If I was just trying to get the most points and I didn't care about what's going on in the real world, Hakimi is obviously worth it over Diop or Riyad or Mazraoui because 2 points of scouting bonus is not worth the attacking potential of Hakimi. He's on corners and he's basically a right winger. So let me just get that out there. But, the other guys are really good picks, even if they're not as good picks as Hakimi. So I think triple Morocco it just has to be nailed against Haiti. I mean, they're just so fucking bad. Brazil will want to finish top in the group. Like it actually matters a lot for seeding, which I'm not going to get into because I don't want to get into it. I just know that in general, you want to finish first in your group. So you play someone worse. So what's interesting about Brazil, Scotland, right, is so I mentioned if you get 4 points, you're 100% through. So if Scotland managed to pull off the draw, they're 100% through. Now, where the chart is interesting, right, is that if they go 1-0 down, right, that puts them at 3 points with a -1 goal difference. They're 93% through. Every goal kind of subtracts, 13 and then 16 and then 14%, a big chunk of percent, every goal conceded. So my thought is that Scotland will just be triple decker bus, never leave the half, long ball, time waste, foul, nightmare, 9 players in the defensive box at all times. Because even if they go a goal down, they just don't want to get thumped because every goal they concede is minus another, whatever I just said, like 13-ish% of qualifying. Now, I know that sounds really, really negative, and maybe Scottish people listening are like, fuck that, we're going to take it to them, and good luck, But this is not a vintage Brazil team, and they lost Rafinha, which is a huge loss. He's like their second or third best player. But they are opening themselves up to the possibility of just not going through at all. And, if they lose 3-0 or 4-0 or whatever the fuck, and then it just comes down to, they also play early, right? Because it's Group C, so they play on Wednesday. They play in the first day. They also have to factor in that every other third place team who plays later will know Scotland's on 3 points -3. So that's our bar, like that. We got to get past that to at least leapfrog them, leapfrog all the teams on 0 points, etc. The math will be way easier for those later teams. So I think Scotland will be, let's fucking keep it 0-0 forever, as long as possible. If we concede a goal, let's keep it 1-0. Honestly, let's fucking keep it 1-0 as long as possible. Brazil has a +2 lead on Morocco. So there's no guarantee that Brazil is going to be unhappy at 1-0 and be like, we need to fucking murder these Scots and ensure that we finish first. And they'll have someone watching the Morocco game being like, oh, Morocco's up 5-0 at halftime, and Brazil will, turn it on. But Morocco's not a very good attacking team, right? So it could be 1-0, 1-0 or something like that. And Brazil's just like, we're fucking chilling, let's just hang out. So it's kind of a tricky one because, Brazil's obviously the better team. They're obviously going to play their best 11. They're very likely to win. Sorry, Scotland fans. I've been very unimpressed with Scotland so far in the tournament. They got the job done against Haiti. That should get them through, but overall they haven't been very good. But so it's like Vinny and Cunha, I think, are just like irresistibly good. He righted the wrong of starting Thiago over Cunha in the first match against Morocco, or maybe that was a specific Morocco thing. I don't know. Like Cunha looks great. He might even have pens with no Rafinha. I mean, probably like Bounou G, but I don't know. Cunha's really good at pens. Looks great. His finishes were, especially that left-footed one, was ridiculous. I don't know who's going to play right wing. I mean, it could be Martinelli. I think Ryan's better, but like either way, probably not a pick. And then, so it's all about finding like one more Brazilian. And again, like I'm kind of listing things in like this is what the template should be. This is the playing for points thing should be Vinny and Cunha 100%. And then +1 is like you're deciding between like, is it like Bounou G? He might have pens. He'll probably take corners. He's gotten the tackle bonus in both games. He's also 2.8% owned, like decent pick. Pack, I thought, was really good against Haiti. I mean, it was like you could finally understand Carlo's vision of like why he's even playing Paqueta, who's just spraying all the passes to all the guys all game. He got scouting bonus, clean assists in minutes, 8-pointer. He also is a shout for pens and set pieces. I mean, we really just don't know what Rafinha out is going to do to all this stuff. So Pack is a possible pick. And then all their defenders and Allison are all just great picks. I mean, if you're looking for scouting boners because you don't want to go Gab or Marquinhos or Allison, I mean, Douglas Santos has played 180. He's not particularly good, but he's 1.4% owned. So yeah, I think triple Brazil, triple Morocco is like probably pretty fucking nailed. Honestly, that's just the situation we're in. Let me take another sip, dude. We're fucking potting, big time potting. Okay, where are we at? Group D, USA. I mean, we're the fucking best. Holy shit, we're the best. But because of the head-to-head bullshit, whatever, they can't be caught. USA has nothing to play for. Interestingly, Turkey also has nothing to play for. Darkest horse I've ever seen. See, Australia, Paraguay is what I would describe as FIFA's worst nightmare. There was that famous match, right, where, man, who was it? It was like West Germany and Austria or some shit like that. It's called it's like the Disgrace World Cup disgrace game or something like that. It's like the Disgrace of Gijón. West Germany, Austria. I nailed it. The match of shame. The Schande von Gijón, the scandal of Gijón, the match of shame, the match de la honte. I like that Wikipedia has all the languages represented here. But basically, I think this was the moment where they were like, oh, on the final round, everyone in the group needs to play at the same time to avoid this, because it was like a handshake deal. West Germany and Austria, hey, if we keep the score this, we're both through. Let's just do it. And they just did it, and they just didn't play. They just didn't play soccer for 90 minutes. Australia is on 3 points with an even goal diff. Paraguay is on 3 points with a -2 goal diff. Once again, referencing the Caley chart. 4 points, even or positive goal diff, 100% moving on. 4 points with a negative goal diff, 99.8% moving on. Is this not the disgrace of Gijón all over again? Like, are they, like, what? Why are they going to play? Like, why? You have to pitch me really hard on why either of these. It's the disgrace of San Francisco Bay Area Stadium, which is apparently what that stadium is called now. Maybe the fucking huge brain 10D chess is like, get defenders and keepers on Australia and Paraguay, because they're going to play to a 0-0 draw, because it's rigged. It's fucking rigged. Like they're emailing each other right now. They're Google translating from Aussie to Spanish right now and saying, hey, mate, what the fuck are we doing if we're not drawing? They're like, if they don't do that, they're insane. They're actually insane. It would be, let me slow down. Before the tournament started, if I said, hey, Australian manager, Paraguayan manager, how about 4 points and going through to the knockouts? How does that sound to you? Both of them say, fucking 1,000,000%, rip your hand off, rip your cock off for that. Yes, all the way, yes. So what has changed? Nothing has changed. Neither team can catch USA. I mean, sure, Paraguay might say, we want to finish second place. Maybe that's some huge effect on the draw, but fucking, what are we talking about? You'll risk not going to knockouts if you try and score and try and win the game, and Australia hit you on the counter or something. It just seems insane. It's probably a full avoid, but I'm gonna write this down in my little flirting section. Australian and Paraguayan defenders or keepers, because it's gonna be a 0-0. It's gotta be a 0-0. I'm also gonna take this moment in time. I wish I was fucking sponsored by the gambling apps, because it'd pay us so much money. I'm not even gonna mention the app. I'm sorry that I even said the word gambling, because sports gambling is bad and the industry is very, very fucking, evil nightmares. But I just need to look at the odds and see if they're reflected in what I'm talking about. Like, is this just not the most nailed draw ever? Yes, it is. So draw is by far the most likely result, also represented on the gambling odds. This is a 0-0. Oh my God, should we? Walsh, I'm sending future Walsh messages because, well, hopefully he even listens. I don't even know if he's going to fucking listen. Are we going triple Paraguay, triple Australia at the back? Holy shit. Are we really doing that? Are we getting Suter because he's the donger and Cercati? I don't know how to say his name. He's basically Italian because he's their best defender. Are we getting Alderete? Fucking genius. Are we getting Beach and the keepers? And holy shit, I need to think more about this, but that might be the biggest brain thing of all. But anyway, Group B. Germany are guaranteed winners because they beat Ivory Coast, who's the only team that could catch them in points. So Germany have nothing to play for. We're not picking them. We're not picking Curacao players. We're probably not picking Ecuador players, even though they're facing the Germany B team. I mean, Ecuador's been bad, man, and I just don't even know. I don't even know who you. It's probably just a full avoid. Ivory Coast, aforementioned Ivory Coast. I mean, I think, first of all, I just want to say, I think they've been fucking great. I think they've been really the best Ivory Coast team I've ever seen, probably at a World Cup. Not in terms of talent, because there were all those teams with all the dudes, but they underperformed every fucking World Cup. And this team is just organized and good and has a plan. Diamande breakout tournament. I mean, I say that he was already valued at like 100 million by Liverpool or whatever, but the price keeps going up every single time he plays because he's just unbelievable. So Diamande is a good pick. Ahmad's a good pick. I mean, I expect them to clean. Let's take a look at their defenders, but I think they're all scouting boners. So maybe it's maybe it's the keeper Fofana and Doué. I like Doué because, well, sadly Singo got injured and he was looking really, really good. But 3'9" Doué, who flies up the wing and gets a lot of assists and stuff, is a great pick. Or any of the center backs are great picks. So, long story short, we're tripling on Cote d'Ivoire. I mean, for sure. It just sucks there's no fucking midfielder. Like, I don't know why Diamande's a forward or Ahmad's a forward. It makes literally no sense. I don't really think you want to be picking, like, Kessie. I mean, hold on. I got to fucking pull up some more shit to see. Sorry. I know it's bad to do this live, but I need to see who's playing 180 minutes. And Kessie, we know. Kessie is like their only midfielder who even played 180. So we're not considering any of the midfielders. And Kessie is like, sure, I know he scored the goal, but he's not really like a goal scorer. Probably pass on the midfielders. It's probably everyone I just mentioned. But yeah, Cote d'Ivoire, baby. I'm all in on them. I think they've been great. And I'm calling it way too early because they're not even through yet, but I think they're pretty guaranteed to be through because Curacao are bad. But I'm going to be at this game in Philly. I'm going to be at this fucking game watching my triple Ivory Coast. And they're going to upset someone. And whether it's the 32, the 16, they're going to get some. I hope they play someone who's not. I really hope they don't play Spain or France or England. I think they can upset anyone else. I think they will give anyone else a really good game and a tough time, and it'll be a really good watch. Anyway, Group F. So Netherlands are on 4 points +4. Japan are on 4 points +4. So they're both 100% through. It's just about who's going to win the group. Sweden are on 3 points with the funniest even goal difference you've ever seen because they won 5-1 and lost 5-1, which is just unbelievable. Graham Potter only material. I had something. I'm going to be right back. I'm going to cut this in post. Okay, I'm back. The reason I BRB'd is because I had this little notebook with me all day yesterday. I was basically working this like gig job where I was pretty much just standing around for 8 hours. I don't want to get into too many details, but I remember that I wrote something down about Sweden because I was just thinking about like our team and shit and fucking around. But I'm trying to. I also this notebook, funny enough, has Walsh's wedding speech in it. I had I was like looking for something small that I could just fit in my pocket. And I found this one and I was flipping through it and I was just like, oh, what the fuck? Because I gave a speech at his wedding. Come on, there was something in here for Sweden. This is really good podcast material. Just me looking around my Sweden. 19 goals conceded in 8 matches under Graham Potter. I don't know if that's right. I don't even know where I read that. But I read it at some point and I wrote it down in my little fucking notebook. Sweden are fucking joke defensively. Graham Potter has been fully exposed. So what we're looking at here is a situation where underwhelming-ish Netherlands. I say ish because they did score 5 goals, but Tunisia. There's a Netherlands. I still don't really trust their defense. I think that they're like the most overrated defensive team in the fucking tournament. Everyone's just jizzing about the names, but they don't play as a good unit together. I think VDV is overrated. Dumfries is not a defender. Whatever. I don't need to get too much into the details here. Bart is just doing Bart stuff all the time. But Gakpo is just Walsh, earmuffs. I mean, Gakpo is just doing what Gakpo does. When he plays left wing, he's him, dude. He is fucking him. When he plays left wing, he gets goals and he gets assists. And for Netherlands, he plays left wing and he gets goals and he gets assists. That's just who he is. That is just. If I open his who scored page because I think it has it separated, right? Yeah, it does. So it has him at 17 goals, 11 assists, all comps this season. I don't know if this is fully up to date or not, but I think it is. It has World Cup games, World Cup qualifying, Prem games, Champions League, and a couple friendlies, which whatever. But like he's played all these games, forward, center, forward, left. Well, no, forward, left is what we like. Attacking midfielder, left where he's deep, center, whatever. All you need to know is forward, left. He has seven games, 5 goals, 5 assists, and that's what we're talking about here. World Cup, he's returning. I think he was their highest scorer last World Cup, or maybe it was the Euros. I'm thinking about. He's just automatic, dude. I mean, don't even think twice about it. This is like a non-negotiable level of Dong ability. I mean, he's just he had 3 goals in the Euros. Yeah, led the team. So yeah, I mean, it's just Gakpo. But the question is there anyone else? And I honestly think not really. I mean, I think Dumfries will probably template, and maybe Virgil, and maybe Robbie. Maybe Robbie will be there. After a good game, but I'm just not that sold that they're just going to completely pile it on and score 5 really simple to defend goals again. Tunisia playing only for pride, but I don't know, man. I'm a bit underwhelmed, and as you know, I hate Koeman. And that's kind of where I'm at on Netherlands. I'm sure those guys will be in teams, and I'm sure they're fine picks. I mean, but are they really gonna just score 5 again? And Brian Brobby is gonna triple return again, or whatever he did. Did he triple return? 2 goals, shot on target bonus, scouting bonus, 15 point. I don't know. I like Brobby. He's a totally fine player, but he's not like some shot monster all of a sudden. He's not just like, holy shit, Brian Brobby's going to go to a top team in Europe now because he's exploding. Like, he's just not. None of their midfielders really attack much. I mean, Reinders has been really fucking bad. And yeah, he takes some corners and stuff. You could punt there, but if you're playing for points, I think you're probably on Gakpo and Dumfries, maybe Robbie. Maybe Virgil. But I think for me and Walsh, it'll probably end up just Gakpo. I think Japan are also interesting, though. Aforementioned Sweden's defense. I think Sweden are like, I don't trust the Japan clean. Is what I'll say about Sweden. They are able to counter. Elonga's pace has been relevant. Isak and Gyak have been solid. So they have some guys on the counter. They'll probably score. I'd be pretty surprised if Japan cleaned them. That said, I'd also be surprised if Japan don't score 3. Is 3 too many? At least 2. The problem is, as is like, I feel like I'm repeating the same thing with every group. It's just the forward spots are so precious. There's only 3 and you want 10. Right? And so you want Ueda. He is their donger. He had 2 points, didn't do anything against Netherlands. It was kind of a weird defensive game. They just couldn't get the ball to him. They had no sustained pressure, really. And then against Tunisia, he gets an assist and a brace, 18-pointer, shots on target bonus. I mean, he is their main man. He is really their only like out and out number 9, aside from an 18-year-old. So he's gonna fucking play. I'm trying to open his page while I'm talking, but I think he's like, yeah, he's the main guy at Feyenoord too. He's scored 25 fucking goals for Feyenoord, only 1 being a pen this season. So he's probably among the top scorers in the entire Dutch league, which, if a Premier League team was buying, I'd be like, Dutch league, I don't know. But in the World Cup, that's fucking good. It's whatever best league in the world they are, whatever number, like 8th or some shit. I'm just pulling a number out of my ass. That's pretty damn good. Not most, but a lot of teams in this competition would kill for a 25 goal scoring, golden boot Eredivisie player. And that's who he is. So I do like him. I do think he's a great pick. I'm not sure if he'll make the aforementioned precious 3 forwards. I need to think about that more. I wouldn't go for a defender. Like I said, I expect Sweden to score. And then it's like, is there a midfielder? So Nakamura has been like arguably their best player, I think, through 2 games. I mean, he's technically playing wing back, so kind of reverse out of position, but he's getting really far forward and has been really good. Maybe it's a bad match for him because, Alanga and Isak and Gyak will keep him a little bit more pinned and he won't be able to cheat forward as much. So I'm open to that possibility. So maybe Ito is the only other guy that I would consider Junior Ito, because at least Ito's on corners. He's kind of the creative guy for them. And it's just, this is more a Sweden thing than a Japan thing. I think Japan are a good team, fun team. I root for them, etc. Shout out to Hero, my friend growing up, both of our friends growing up. But yeah, this is a big Sweden take where I'm just like, I think they're an absolute fucking mess. Netherlands scored 5 goals, but go watch the replay. Go watch the highlights. Those were 5 of the easiest fucking goals you've seen all World Cup. Unless, it's the fucking Iraq goalie giving Mbappe a goal, whatever. I'm not including that. I mean, it's just boom, 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 tap in. Boom, 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 tap in. Boom, 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 tap in. It's 3-0. And, it was just an absolute joke. They're so unorganized. I think Potter's doing a really bad job. And it's gone under the radar because they had the big win against Tunisia and people got excited. And guess what? Might be enough for them to go through. They're 3 points, even goal diff. So they might go through. But I think Japan will see the possibility of finishing first in the group. They're level on points, level on goal difference with Netherlands. And I think they should go for it. I mean, they have a lot of injuries, but they're playing well. Their 11's good. So, yeah, I like Japan almost more than Netherlands. But, yeah, Gakpo and maybe one Japan attacker, 1 or 2 Japan attackers. It seems good. Man, is this gonna be? Yeah, I'm almost at an hour already. I told Walsh. Walsh in my DMs earlier was like, "Oh, just keep it to like 20, 30 minutes, and it'll be good." And I was like, "Yeah, 20, 30 minutes. Like, who are you talking to, dude? I have to like do a fucking wildcard team and go through this shit without him." Um, Group G. I think I already mentioned Mo. I'm definitely Mo curious. So Mo has Iran, who are okay. They're not like one of the worst teams, but they're certainly not good. They were up a man against Belgium for like 30 minutes and were even more defensive for some reason. I'm not sure. So there's Egypt versus Iran, and Mo looks great. He's just such a fucking legend. I'm obsessed with him. And then Belgium have New Zealand. So Belgium, Belgium. And Belgium are sort of the ultimate bait, are they not? I mean, they have New Zealand. New Zealand are fucking bad. You know, the Kiwis do not excel in this sport. Wood's playing well. I'll shout out to Wood. You know, shout out to fucking Christopher Wood. I hope New Zealand upsets them. It'd be hilarious and amazing. I don't think they will. That said, here's a little bit of pub trivia for listeners at home. Name the last Belgian World Cup goal scorer. You can pause the pod now if you want to try and think about it. Because the last one was in 2022, last World Cup in Qatar, against Canada, Michi Batshuayi. I don't even know if he plays anymore. I don't even know if he's a footballer anymore. Let me see. He played 139 minutes for Frankfurt this season. That's who I'm talking about. That's their last goal scorer in World Cup. Kevin's been so disappointing, creating a bunch of chances, taking frees, corners. He also leads the team in shots. I mean, there is an argument that like I'm overreacting and while on wildcard and in getting rid of Kev because he is doing all of this stuff. He is checking all these million boxes, but it has felt bad so far. But I think there's a strong argument for Kevin in the team. And I also think there's a strong argument for, again, this is very like a obvious, probably template pick who won't be in me and Walsh's team is Doku. Assuming we get news that he's coming back and will play the third game, I don't know. But he flew home. His wife had a baby, their first kid. Good job by him, honestly. Respect. He's with her. I assume there's just a plane waiting in his backyard being like, okay, dude, are you good? Like, seriously, are you fucking good? Because they need to win the fucking game. They're on 2 points. They've been a disgrace. So they need Doku. I think on paper, he's a great pick. I think in reality, he's a great pick. Playing for points, great pick. Will not be in our team. So that's that situation. Group H, I think it's just a full avoid on wildcard. Even though Spain are like arguably the best team in the tournament, they don't really need to win. I mean, a draw and they're top of the group. I think they'll just coast to an easy low event win anyway. I mean, Uruguay is going to be going absolutely ape shit to try and score and win because Uruguay need at least a draw. I mean, so maybe Uruguay will just play it tight for a while and then try and nick one late. Maybe that's their best strategy because they're on 2 points with an even goal diff. So if they get to 3 points even goal diff, they're pretty much through. So maybe that's how that goes. It just doesn't seem like on a wild card this is the group that I want to target. I don't really want to target Spain, Uruguay, Oyarbazal has like a knock or something. We don't know if Lamine will start, probably shouldn't start. We don't really know. I said Oyarbazal, I meant Oyarzabal. We don't really know who's going to start period for Spain, other than I guess most of their defenders, but even defenders, and Porro came in for Llorente. It's a little bit sort of like I feel like I'm getting roped into like a Spain 1-0 win or a 0-0 or a 1-1 game where everyone's just kind of like, yeah, it's fine, whatever. Uruguay have been really, really bad. It's not really. If this was let me put it another way. If this was a knockout game, we'd have triple Spain for sure. I think they would just destroy them. But I just don't like this weird situation, right? This game is so far away. They play on Friday. There'll be so many like third place situations going on. There might also be weird shit with like, do you want to finish first or second? Because this team blew it, and for second place plays the bad team. And first. So I just lost internet while recording. Of course, solo pod, my internet goes out. Like, are you fucking joking, man? So that's going to be fun in post, but I'll deal with that then. I don't remember what I was talking about, but I was basically saying not knowing any of the situations, obviously not having any pressers or any news on the fitness or not fitness of Spanish players, not knowing the situation that they will need maybe or want to finish second or happy with the draw because I mean a draw and they're guaranteed first because they beat. Oh, actually, that's not. They're basically guaranteed first with a draw. I mean, Cape Verde would need to beat Saudi Arabia by 5 goals to overtake them, which is not going to happen. So it might be another situation, handshake draw. Like I know it's not nice to think about that kind of thing, but possibly they make a call, they ask for a favor, they say, hey, come on. I know you guys, conquered Uruguay back in the day, whatever, like you owe us one. That was really fucked up. I don't know, dude. I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know history, but I'm just trying to say like handshake deal for a draw where Spain finishes first and Uruguay goes through, whether that's second or third. I think they would take that at this point. And Bielsa knows a lot of Spaniards. He used to work there. I mean, is Bielsa Spanish? Actually, don't know. Oh, he's Argentine. I forgot. Yeah, but he knows a lot of dudes there. Like puts in the call. So I don't know. It's a full avoid. I think it's a full avoid. And I don't think Cape Verde, Saudi Arabia offers a lot of fantasy value. Let's see. I got just a few more, even though I mean, we don't. I haven't seen the games for K and L, so maybe those will go quick. But Group I. So France and Norway both on 6 points. France is +5. Norway's +4. But they play each other. How are these teams going to approach this? We do not know, and we will not know by the time the match day 3 or the round 3 deadline goes, because again, they don't play till Friday, and this is going to lock on Wednesday. So we're just not going to know shit. I don't think you want French players or Norwegian players. I think you're just sort of like your hand is forced to avoid. I think you do maybe want Senegalese players, though. Iraq have been really bad. It's just kind of hard to figure out who, right? Because Ismail Assar is a forward, not a midfielder. Another one of those, why is he a fucking forward? No one knows situations. So that's hard. Makes it more hard to fit him in. Diatta also being a midfielder is really annoying. I'm just opening their team right now, but Diatta being a midfielder is really annoying because he's their like attacking fullback, right? I mean, you could go Diouf maybe if you're expecting a clean, but also defensively they've been a fucking mess, dude. And Mendy got hurt today too. So is that even good? I mean, Koulibaly was an absolute disaster. Mane looks like he's aged 15 years in 3 years. So I mean, really, the best two picks from a fantasy perspective are probably Nico Jackson, and Sarr. But Sarr being a forward is tough. I mean, the argument for Mane is obviously not a very difficult one because he's arguably the best player in their history, and he's still the quote unquote main man. And, it's on his shoulders for them to get it done and go through and all the stuff. And he's probably on pens and yada, yada, yada. Right. So there's a pretty sound argument to just go Mane. It is, I know he's looked bad. I know he's not getting shots, whatever. But you just go Mane. In this situation, you go Mane and let Iraq do Iraq things, maybe. Group J. Oh yeah, so Argentina guaranteed top. They have nothing to play for. Oh, I've said I should address this because I've said this multiple times, where a team has nothing to play for, avoid, not thinking about them, blah blah blah. I think maybe more shrewd fantasy World Cup players will look at this and be like, it's an Argentina B team against Jordan. Why are we ignoring this like it doesn't exist, right? Like, so if I pull up Argentina yesterday against Austria, it's like, is Julian Alvarez starting? Maybe that's a pick. Is this the Nico Paz game? Nico Paz, if he was starting, would be an incredible pick. Is this the Nico Paz game? My problem is with the subs, I only want fucking nailed players. Says the guy who transferred in Teo Hernandez, who played 0 minutes. But I'm only targeting nailed players because I want to be able to fucking sub them in. That's a huge part of the game. So you could tell me a story that it's fucking finally Barco time, after all these years of game week 1, Barco being a disaster. It's Barcos' time. It's Nico Paz's time. It's Julian Alvarez's time. It's fucking Senesi's time. Whatever. Get the fuck out of here. I'm not buying it. I think it's a full avoid. We will not be having an Argentinian despite the fact that they play Jordan because I just don't know who the fuck's going to play. So I'm not playing that game. Anyway, that applies for all the other teams where I'm just like, don't know. Like you could say, oh, USA is playing Turkey. Turkey are a fucking joke. Who the fuck is playing? I don't like that prospect. You could do, oh, dude, it's fucking Ricardo Pepe's game. Brendan Aronson and Gio Reyna are playing nailed starting. They're playing for fuck out of here. I don't know what Poch is going to do. I'm not going to play that game. It's just Russian roulette right there. The other game in Group J is Austria, Algeria. But honestly, it's one of those bad situations where I've been complaining about it the entire episode. Austria's on 3 points, even goal difference. Algeria's on 3 points, -2 goal difference, which puts them at 80% going through. Also have to factor in these teams play late. Late meaning late in the round. They'll know the situation better by the time it goes up. So we might be in a situation where Algeria is like, no, we need a draw for sure. 3 points, negative goal difference, whatever is not going through. But as of now, 4 points is 100%. Even with a negative goal difference, it's 99.8%. So why aren't these teams just drawing? Tell me again. I don't know the history of Austrian and Jordanian relations, but why the fuck would these teams not just draw? Sorry, not Jordan. Algerian is what I meant. Austrian and Algerian relations, but just fucking draw. Again, Algeria, much like Scotland, could say, no, fuck that. We're the second best team in the group and we deserve to finish second and we don't want to face blah, blah, blah in the next round. Sure. But that is just so greedy when you're Algeria and you basically are guaranteed to go through if you draw. Austria is definitely going to take that because the best they can do is second place, and that'll guarantee second place, right? So Austria is for sure taking that bet or taking that offer. Algeria then has the chance of just losing and getting knocked out on 3 points, -4 goal difference or something if they lose by 2. So why the fuck would they do that? So again, it's just nothing there. And then groups K and L. Haven't seen their matches yet. Obviously, don't know the situations yet. I assume we'll be on no Colombians, no Portuguese. They play each other in round 3. Maybe we'll go for a Congolese player against the Uzbeks. Congo was pretty good against Portugal. Don't know. We'll see how they play today. Take that up, in Discord. Basically, that'll be when we're talking about it and deciding our final picks. And same with England. I mean, probably no one in Group L. I mean, maybe Croatia against Ghana if Ghana are really fucking bad, and Croatia will probably need to get points on the board. But I'm just assuming England will have nothing to play for and rest guys. And if you want to play that game of Ollie Watkins in the final game is going to get his start, then play that fucking game. But it's not for me. Straight up, not for me. So that's it. I think that's basically the pod. I'm probably going to have to listen back to my own pod to figure out what the fuck I'm picking. But if I just sort of go through my notes, I mean, it's going to be probably triple Morocco, triple Brazil, triple Cote d'Ivoire. That's 9 out of 15 guys, right? If I add Gakpo and maybe Kevin and maybe Mane or Mo or something, I'm very, very close. I need to talk to Walsh about what he thinks about trying to pick out all these matches where both teams would be happy with the draw, and maybe we just take all our defensive swings on that and just get a bunch of sub 1% owned scouting boner potential cleans. I'll talk to him about that off air. I'll get back to you. But I think that's roughly where we're at. So, yeah, I mean, I hope that was useful. I hope it was easy to follow. I'll take any feedback you have from me for, what is essentially my first real solo pod, because the Patreon one was audio only. I think that's a wrap. I mean, I think when it'll be about an hour. I think that's acceptable, and hopefully you have enough time to listen. And yeah, good luck tomorrow. See you in Discord. Figure out our wildcard teams. Walsh, any last words? See you tomorrow. Check us out. FMLPL.com. Follow us on Twitter. FMLPL. SportsPage.com/FML. Subscribe. Rate. Review. Cheers.